Hey folks, John Ferguson Smart here. I wanted to talk about another question that I had recently. The question was, how much detail do you need to put into a user story? We always say that a user story is a placeholder for a conversation, that there shouldn't be a whole lot of detail in the user story. And in fact, it's a big anti-pattern to cram your user story full of very detailed given when then statements, detailed descriptions, detailed solutions, detailed implementation detail. That's not what we want a user story to do. A user story, like the name indicates, it is literally a story of how the user will interact with the system. Originally, it would fit on an index card that we would physically put on a wall. And in these nowadays with Jira and whatnot, it tends to get a little bit bigger, but we should still try to keep it as that, as a placeholder for a conversation. But the question that comes up is, what if you have more details? What if the requirement is more complex? What if you need more information? You need to study, to prepare more information before you have that discovery session. Now, remember, a user story is a placeholder for a conversation, but it is also a pointer to the actual requirements. And no one said we can't actually have requirements in Agile. We can't write things up in complex domains. I work a lot in banking and finance, insurance. We have complex domains and complex problem spaces where we do need extra information to be stored somewhere. We do need extra reference. We need compliance documents or pricing models or flow charts. There are all lots of extra information that is very useful to know about before you have a conversation about the user story. And all of that stuff should be referenced, should be documented, should be placed somewhere and made readily available for the team so that they can prepare for the requirement session beforehand. The trick is that it should be the problem and the reference information, not a prescriptive solution. So by all means, have your user story point to extra information, point to reference documentation, but don't flesh out the solution. Don't specify a solution before your session. That's the subtle nuance that I wanted to explain. Thanks for listening, folks.